Welcome back to my YouTube channel Seema's Academy. In this video, we are going to learn the last chapter from your part A, first part of the textbook, that is Controlling, chapter 8, Niyantrisuvike. Now before we start with the chapter, again it is a request to all of the second PC students who haven't yet subscribed my channel to please subscribe the channel and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified about my next videos. Now coming to the concept, what is controlling? ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Now managerial control here implies the measurement of accomplishment against the standard and corrections of deviations to assure attainment of objectives according to the plans. We have seen that there are 5 functions of management. ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆಯ 5 functions ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ controlling is one of the functions, that is starting from planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So this is the last function. See, to tell you in a very simple manner what is controlling. Controlling basically means setting up of one standard. ಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. Suppose to give you a very common example, let us assume that your standard, you have set a standard that you have to score 100 in accountancy or 100 in business studies, okay, or any of the subject. Now this is your standard. Let this be the standard. Now measuring your performance, let us take preparatory examination. Preparatory examination ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ವ ಸಿದ್ಧತಾ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಬಿಸಿನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್, ಅಕೌಂಟೆನ್ಸಿ or any of the subject you want to take, you assume any subject, okay. ನಾವು ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಂತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಯು. ನೌ in the answer scripts it is shown that you have scored only 85. What is this? This is the actual performance. Actual. Okay. Now what was the standard? Standard was to score 100. Performance was only 85. Then what we do here? We are finding out the difference. What is the difference? 15 marks is less here. You had to score this much, you scored only this, and 15 is the difference. ಈಗ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಕಾರಣಗಳನ್ನ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. Why this 15 difference was there? Was your hard work not sufficient? Did you miss out any question? Or the time was not sufficient? What were the reasons? Okay, this itself is called as controlling. If we take the organizational context, let us assume that the company had to make a profit of 100 crores. 100 crores profit anna in 5 years achieve ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ first of all. So this is a standard. Now after measuring the performance after 5 years, it came up only to 80 crores. Company profit ishtu matra bandide. Now what is the difference? 20 crores profit is missing, which means we have not achieved that standard of 100 crores alva. So ಈ difference ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ find out ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, the difference between the standards and actuals, and what actions has to be taken to correct those, that itself is called as planning. See here, measurement of accomplishment against the standard and corrections of deviations. Deviations anta helidre illi differences. The differences we saw here is 15, here it is 20. That is deviation. ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಏನಿದೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು deviations ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. To assure attainment of objectives according to the plans. Now coming to what are the importance of controlling. ಈ controlling ನ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆ ಏನು? First of all, it helps in accomplishing the organizational goals, which you see in almost every function of management, accomplishing the organizational goals. How it helps in achieving the organizational goals is that it will tell you what is the standard. It will also measure the actual performance, and controlling tells you what are the deviations, what are the differences, so that we can analyze the differences, we can analyze the reasons for the difference and take corrective measures so that the goals of the organization is achieved. Okay, that is how it helps in accomplishing the goals. ಸಂಘಟನಾತ್ಮಕ ಗುರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಹೇಗಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಕಂಡು ಬಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಸರಿಪಡಿಸುವಂತ ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ಸೂಚಿಸುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಂಘಟನಾತ್ಮಕ ಗುರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್, ಜಡ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್. So whatever standards we are going to set for the organization, whether it is accurate or not, to judge that also we require controlling. ನಾವು ಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸ್ತೇವಲ್ವಾ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳು ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ಗಳು ನಿಖರವಾಗಿದ್ಯೋ ಅಥವಾ ವಾಸ್ತವಿಕವಾಗಿದ್ಯೋ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಅನುವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಥರ್ಡ್ಲಿ, ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್. ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳನ್ನ ಸಮರ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So here a manager sees to it that whatever are the resources that is being used in the organization are used efficiently. Okay, there is no wastage of any resources. ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳು ಅಪವ್ಯಯ ಆಗುವುದನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಹಾಳಾಗುವುದನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆಗೊಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಟ್ರೈಸ್ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಆಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ದ ವೇಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ದಕ್ಷತೆಯಿಂದ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸುವುದನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಖಚಿತಪಡಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ಲಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಪ್ರೂವಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್. Now how controlling helps to motivate an employee or improves the motivation levels of employees. See, when you know that what is to be achieved, ಏನನ್ನ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೊದಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ you will work in that path only ಅಲ್ವಾ. So if suppose we have told that 100 crores target ಇದೆ, already 80 crores achieve ಆಗಿದೆ, you know that remaining is 20 crores. So that difference will serve as a motivation for you, right? So it helps in improving the employee motivation. ಉದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಯನ್ನ ಉತ್ತಮಗೊಳಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So this is about importance of controlling. Now coming to the limitations of controlling. Now controlling ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆಯ ಮಿತಿಗಳು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ. First one, difficulty in setting quantitative standards. Quantitative standards ಗಳನ್ನ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ it becomes difficult for an organization to have quantitative standards. Now what are quantitative standards? See, the standards which cannot be in the form of numbers. Okay, suppose employee satisfaction, employee morale, ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಸಂತೃಪ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ ನೌಕರರ ಸ್ಥೈರ್ಯ, ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾನವ ನಡವಳಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ 100% behavior improvement in the employees. So these are unrealistic standards ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇವುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ in term of numbers. So when you are failing to write or set up a quantitative standards, their controlling loses its importance. Secondly, little control on external factors. ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಅಂಶಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣವಿಲ್ಲದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. We know that there are certain external factors like government policy changes or technological changes, the competition, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ನೀತಿಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕತೆಯ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪೈಪೋಟಿ, ಇವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣದಲ್ಲಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So that is outside of the organization. So an organization cannot control these. So that may also affect the controlling process. Third one, resistance from employees. ನೌಕರರಿಂದ ವಿರೋಧ. So most of the times employees see controlling as something which curbs their freedom. So that is why there are high chances, that high probability that employees may resist the controlling process. So they may feel that they are under the surveillance of the CCTV. So that is why there can be resistance from the employees. ತನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿರ್ಬಂಧವನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಮನೋಭಾವನೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ದೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ವಿರೋಧವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅವರು ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅಫೇರ್, ವೆಚ್ಚದಾಯಕ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. Why it is a costly affair? Because controlling involves a lot of costs here. You have to set up standards and there are several measures or techniques of controlling that is being used, which is costly. Okay, so that is why if the benefits of the controlling process is less than the cost that is being involved in the process of controlling, then definitely it will be a loss for the organization. So these are the limitations of controlling. Now there is one question regarding what is the relationship between planning and controlling. ಯೋಜಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳೇನು? What is the relationship here? See, firstly, planning and controlling are inseparable twins of management. We must understand that if planning is done, controlling is also equally important. ಯೋಜನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅವಳಿ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. That is why they are called as the twins of management. Then planning is clearly a prerequisite for controlling. Sorry, it is prerequisite, not perquisite, prerequisite for controlling. So if you have to control any activity in the organization, first there should be planning. Okay, so planning na ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು controlling ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. So planning is clearly a prerequisite. Prerequisite means something which is important, something which is a base for controlling. Then planning is an intellectual process involving thinking, whereas controlling checks whether decisions have been translated into desired actions. So planning ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಬೌದ್ಧಿಕ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. ಇಂಟೆಲೆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್, ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಬೌದ್ಧಿಕ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಏನು? ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಚೆಕ್ಸ್ ವೆದರ್ ದ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈರ್ಡ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳು ಅಪೇಕ್ಷಿತ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳಾಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತಿತವಾಗಿದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Then planning is a forward looking function, that is ಭವಿಷ್ಯವನ್ನ ಚಿಂತಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. We are looking ahead, next ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮುಂದೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್. Whereas controlling is looking backward function. Why we call it as a backward function? Because it is based on all the actions which has already happened in the organization. Based on that we are taking the measures to control it ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು? ಹಿನ್ನೋಟದ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ. whereas ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಮುನ್ನೋಟದ ಕಾರ್ಯ. that is forward looking and backward looking. So backward looking is controlling, forward looking is planning. Then planning based on facts makes controlling easier and effective. So ವಾಸ್ತವ ಅಂಶಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಯೋಜಿಸುವಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, if the planning is based on the facts, then controlling becomes easier. ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಸುಲಭ ಹಾಗೂ ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. Then last one, controlling improves future planning by providing information derived from past experiences. ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? ಹಿಂದಿನ ಅನುಭವಗಳಿಂದ ಪಡೆದ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ಯೋಜಿಸುವಿಕೆಯನ್ನ, ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಉತ್ತಮಗೊಳಿಸ್ತದೆ. Now these are the relationship between planning and controlling. Now controlling process, ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಿಕೆಯ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? Now for the controlling process, if you have understood the meaning clearly with the example, this is nothing. See what example I have told, the same sentences are given here. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು? ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ or qualitative standards. there is difficulty in setting quantitative standards. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ there is difficulty in setting quantitative standards, but other standards can be like if it is sales target or profit targets, this can be set very easily. Second one, measurement of actual performance. ನೈಜ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಣೆಯನ್ನ ಅಳೆಯುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ methods available to measure the actual performance. Techniques available ಇದೆ for doing controlling, for measuring the actual performance. So those we will check in the next slide. Third one, comparing actual performance with the standards. Actual performance ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನೈಜ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಣೆಯನ್ನ ಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ದೆನ್ ಅನಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಕಂಡು ಬಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಯಾಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಿಸುವುದು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸರಿಪಡಿಸುವ ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಈ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಯಾಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಕಂಡು ಬಂದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್, ಆ ಮೆಷರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ದ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. Now coming to the techniques of managerial control, we have two types of techniques, that is traditional techniques and modern techniques. Traditional techniques we have 4. See, for 4 marks or 8 marks this question is not asked. Explain traditional techniques or explain modern techniques. 2 marks ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ 1 marks ಗೆ ಇವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. What is break even analysis, what is budgetary control ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So traditional techniques, we have first one is personal observation. Here what the manager he does, he collects the first hand information by his personal observation. Statistical reports that may be in the form of averages, percentages, ratios, correlation, etc. Now what is break-even analysis? Here break-even analysis, ಸಮಭೇದ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, we are trying to find out the relationship between the cost, volume and profit. ವೆಚ್ಚಗಳು, ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಮತ್ತು ಲಾಭಗಳ ನಡುವಿನ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಈವನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Then coming to budgetary control. What is budgetary control? So under budgetary control, various types of budgets are being framed. Sales budgets, for example, it may be sales budget, purchase budget, production budget. So there are different types of budgets. So we are framing different types of budgets, setting up a standard, measuring the actual performance and comparing these with the budgeted standards. So that is budgetary control. Now under modern techniques of controlling, there is return on investment. ಹೂಡಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲಿನ ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಏನಿದೆ. Then ratio analysis, ಅನುಪಾತದ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ. So what is the ratio analysis ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು 2 marks ಗೆ. So here you have seen there are different types of ratios available. Liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, profitability ratios, turnover ratios that you have studied in accountancy. So with the help of ratios, we are analyzing the financial position of an organization. Then responsibility accounting, here you have to remember these 4 terms. Responsibility accounting ali cost centers, revenue center, profit center, investment center. Here basically we are holding one center responsible, or the manager of that particular center responsible for the profits or the activities of that particular department. That is responsibility accounting. Then management audit. So what is this management audit? Management audit ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟಿನ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. We are evaluating the performance of the management of an organization. ನಿರ್ವಹಣಾ ಪರಿಶೋಧನೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ನಿರ್ವಹಣಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಡಿಟ್. For 1 mark this question can be asked. Now PERT, CPM and MIS. For these 3 the abbreviations can be asked. Expand ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು PERT ಅನ್ನ. So program evaluation review technique, CPM is critical path method and management information system. MIS is management information system. Now quickly we shall have a revision of the question bank. Look at the 1 mark question. What is meant by controlling? We have discussed it. Then what is the standard in controlling process ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Standard ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟಗಳು. So it is nothing but the benchmark against which the actual performance is to be measured. The next part CPM and MIS, I told you that those are important. Program evaluation review technique, critical path method and management information system. Then what is ratio analysis? I've told you what is ratio analysis. In the next slide, I would display the answers. If you want the exact answers, I will display it again. Then controlling function of an organization is dash. It is a, what is controlling function? It is a backward looking function. Whereas planning is a forward looking, controlling is backward looking. Management audit is a technique to keep a check on the performance of dash. So we are measuring the performance of whom? The management of the company. Then budgetary control requires the preparation of what? Budgets. Which of the following is not applicable to responsibility accounting? So investment centers comes under responsibility accounting, profit centers also come, cost centers come. One more is revenue center and not accounting center. So which one is not applicable to responsibility accounting is accounting center. Then under part B, 2 marks question, define managerial control. I will display in the next slide the definition. State any 2 traditional techniques of managerial control. Traditional techniques I have told you which are the traditional techniques. Write any 2. Then write any 2 modern techniques of managerial control is also being discussed. Give the meaning of break-even analysis also discussed. For the exact answers I will display in the next slide. What do you understand by budgetary control? What is responsibility accounting? Then under part C, a good control system helps an organization in many ways. Justify this statement with any 4 points. So this is nothing but your importance of control. In the first slide we have seen the importance of controlling. Write the 4 points and explain. Explain the limitations of controlling is also being discussed. Then explain briefly the relationship between planning and controlling is also explained. Then one more question is explain briefly the steps involved in controlling process. So you can write the steps in the controlling process with your own examples also. So 4 marks questions are only asked under this chapter. No 8 marks question is being asked. So here I have displayed the answers for certain questions from the question bank. What is standard, managerial control, break-even analysis, budgetary control, and what is responsibility accounting. So that was all about the chapter controlling. So here we wind up the chapter controlling is done. Next chapter financial management will be uploaded soon. So if you have liked the video, please like it, share it with your friends, and I would love to receive your feedbacks in the comments section so that I can improve on my next videos. Thank you.